Have you ever been followed? It's a bone-chilling experience, if anything. Not many would handle it well. You either have to confront the strange occurrence or get yourself to safety, as it would likely trigger your fight-or-flight response. Today we have clips of just that. Clips of people being tailed, followed, profiled, and more, and the harrowing experience of getting away from it. Sometimes it's all about keeping an eye out, but sometimes situations happen and things go south quickly. Make sure you watch to the end so you have a better idea of what to watch out for when you're on your own. Stalked on camera. Going out with your family should be fun and an easygoing experience. That's not always the case though, but sometimes more than others. This woman and her young daughter start the video in the car together as she opens up a set of toys for her because they're going into the salon together. She starts venting once they're back in the car about a bad salon experience, and the video seems to continue as usual for a bit. About 6 minutes in, the woman points out that a weird man in the mall keeps creeping at them.
This guy is creeping. It's very weird.
She points that out as she continues making eye contact with him, and he in turn seems very obviously to be watching them.
Oh my god, every time I make eye contact with him, he looks away. He's like the guy with the white hat. Hang on.
Things pick up after that as she decides to leave with her daughter quickly out of the space. He disappears into the mall when they begin to move, which unnerves the woman even further.
The minute that we start walking, this guy's nowhere to be found.
She's clearly set off, but the two of them do get away safely. Just an unnerving reality of being online for vloggers, and especially women, is being hyper-vigilant of who might be around you. Creep at the market. This vlogger, YouTuber Setanur, couldn't have expected the creepy man she encountered, no matter how vigilant she might have been. There's so many people around and she's traveling alone. It's more than keeping an eye out at that point. The vlogger stops at a street vendor, after a while, purchases a coconut drink. A few men walk by, but nothing of note at first. Then suddenly a man in a blue shirt shows up. He continues to follow the vlogger for a while, going in and out of the camera line before sitting a little ways away. It's clear he's following her because when she passes by him, he makes sure to stay within close distance of her. Every time the camera pans behind her, he's right there, just following along. She seems mostly unaware of her close walking stalker, though it's unclear if that's on purpose or if she really hasn't seen him.
The city is a little empty today. I don't know why, even though it's Saturday and it should be full and very crowded. It's very nice.
It eventually cuts off as she records later in her hotel room, clearly shaken by the experience.
So as you could see, this weird man in blue, he started following me, and every time I was stopping, he was just passing me and waiting on a spot for me to pass him again so he can follow me again.
She was later physically harassed, though it's clear she's less upset by that. It may have just been a child making a mistake than the clear follower. She eventually blows up at the man, telling him off, and does manage to get away. It's good she was comfortable sticking up for herself because who knows if she'd let it go on much longer. Vlogger followed in the parking lot.
I just get a venti iced caramel macchiato with oat milk. Usually I only get 3 pumps of sugar-free vanilla instead of 5, because it's, okay, I'm done.
Sometimes paranoia is definitely worth paying attention to. This woman was vlogging from inside her car and was harassed inside a Starbucks. A man in the parking lot was staring at her, making her uncomfortable. As she was driving, she explained, a man pulled up beside her and began suggestively winking at her. If that wasn't enough, she couldn't get away from him. He continued to follow her, no matter where she seemed to go.
I look over to my left, and this guy pulls right next to me, and I look, obviously, because I heard his car come, so I look, and puts down his window and goes, and starts winking at me and shit. Dude, first of all, you're like, maybe he was like 30. Oh my god, now he's behind me.
She's visibly shaken. As a young woman on the internet, creepy men can go south quickly, so it's become a very distinct game of, is he friendly, or do I need to call someone for summon them? But sometimes logic is overridden by paranoia. This may not be one of those cases, but it's clear it was enough to set her off. What do you think? Was she overreacting to this one? Yes Man follows vlogger. Walking around this marketplace seems lively, surrounded by people and shops alike. This man, however, manages to catch the attention of an aggressively friendly stranger. They share a drink, but the man refuses to leave him. He follows the vlogger into the next booth as he attempts to buy underwear from a local, and the vlogger has to ask him multiple times to leave him alone. He continues to aggressively say he needs help, where the vlogger in turn says he doesn't, asking him under no uncertain terms to just leave him alone. He continues for a while before the man shows back up, pushing himself back into the camera's view.
No, you are not going there. I am going there. Yes, you are going there.
We're going to
No. Yes, second. You there, me there. You there, then I there.
The vlogger is losing his patience with the stranger because he's following him around all the grounds. No matter where he goes, the man acts as if he's his shadow. Eventually, he debates going and buying the stranger alcohol, but he doesn't want to reward the strange stalker-like behavior from the man.
If I go in there and buy him whiskey or something, he will piss off. The problem is I don't want to reward his behavior. Like, he's not contributing at all. I've told him to get lost many times.
He's clearly irate, but the man does eventually finally wander off.
The sad thing is that the times when you do try to say, like, please stop, then they don't stop. But anyway, I think he's lost now.
If the vlogger hadn't been so direct with his instruction, would he have left on his own? How far would he have followed? Harassed in a store. It's strange how often these situations happen to family-style vloggers, though maybe that's just part of the genre. It drums up a weird amount of attention. This account, the Bram Fan, is all about their family and their home life. This video starts with them looking for new furniture to help fill out their home, though the situation in question seems to happen rather quickly. They're walking around and suddenly a man in a gray shirt begins tailing them. He looks like a manager, but it's unclear what he wants or why he's following them. The vlogger thinks that they're being tailed because he thinks they're stealing, but that's a weird assumption to make given it's a furniture store.
So we're gonna look at some more furniture. Wow.
They leave eventually, and that's that. But have you ever been tailed in a store or incorrectly profiled? Let us know in the comments down below. It's got to have been an uncomfortable situation. Catching would-be phone thieves. This woman thankfully wasn't alone in this situation. Driving through the streets can be dangerous, depending on where you are. This is more of a setup. They bought a phone just to tease street predators with. Within 2 minutes, this woman is spotted by thieves who begin following the car. They jog beside the car with some amount of intent. She continues to brandish the phone in front of people, but when the man tries to go up and snatch the phone, the man behind the woman pulls a taser out and threatens him with it. He yanks back immediately, knowing he's been caught and there's no real way out of it. Truck driver unsettled. This driver seems to be a lifestyle blogger, but in the style of a delivery driver. He keeps a GoPro on his head, showing his daily routes, and stops as he goes. The day is mostly uneventful until well after the sun goes down. He eventually explains that there's been a car trying to brake check him, tail him around, get him to pull over. It's all a series of unsettling behavior coming from a stranger at 2 in the morning.
This guy that's following me, waving me down, he literally got in front of me, brake checked me, turned on his hazards, and tried telling me to pull over.
He's been trying to get rid of the guy for a while, even at one point resorting to faking him out on a turn. It seems to be enough for a while, but he does make his way back.
That's literally him.
Once the driver pulls off into a stop, the man pulls up next to him, and it wouldn't necessarily be an issue if he wasn't so uncomfortable.
I follow you! Oh, you follow me? Yeah! Oh, nice to meet you, man! Hey, what's up, man?
It's not just women who can be targeted. He expresses concern over a local serial killer and how this behavior is making him all the more tense and uncomfortable, all within good reason. Talking to the man at the stop seems enough, but it's still strange. He explains the behavior had gone on for 25 minutes at that point, more than enough to make anyone feel a bit off. Man helps woman get away. Luckily, sometimes people go out of their way to help each other. This man caught an uncomfortable situation unfolding in a store in front of him and acted quickly. We don't see the girl or her stalker, but we see the person videotaking butting in. They act as though they know each other and he gives her an escape.
My aunt is here. Do you wanna...
Oh yeah, really? And Claire?
Yeah, and Claire.
He makes up a fake aunt, and the two of them walk off to go say hi to her. The girl quickly and quietly thanked him for stepping in. He'd been asking her back to his place. It's lucky someone acted for her. These situations can get out of hand quickly if it's not dealt with properly.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you for helping me.
Leaving the girl feeling concerned and very alone. Would you act if you saw something like this unfolding? Good Samaritans are few and far between. Nobody wants to stick their neck out to make sure others are okay, but it's also easier said than done. For the last clip, since you watched until this point, why don't you consider subscribing to the channel? We upload 2 new creepy, disturbing, and downright scary videos every week, so stay up to date with our latest releases by getting those post notifications. If you enjoyed this one, we have plenty more for you on the channel, so you won't want to miss a single one. Teens targeted at the skate park. This teenager was the unfortunate victim of a man with too much time and aggression on his hands. A few minutes into the clip, it seems like a man in the park is trying to pick a fight. He throws his hands up, repeating the words, "Big man," over and over.
Big man! Who's big man?
The guy continues to record and even warns the man that he's recording, but he wants to pick a fight with them.
You know I got you on film, right?
He claims that the man just walked into the park and is trying to pick fights. It's hard to tell if that's the case or if he's not giving us the whole story. It wouldn't be the first time a YouTuber lied for views or engagement. He has to constantly explain to the aggressive man that if he touches him, he's done, but there's nothing really keeping the strange fight-happy man from doing exactly whatever he wants to do.
You touch me, you're If you touch me, you're
He's trying to fight everybody right now. So.
Yo, tell him to send an officer ASAP. Don't touch me, bro.
It's another few minutes that go by before the police show up and begin cuffing the stranger with his hands behind his back. The kid filming continues to tell the cop what's going on, despite the stranger arguing. He's mostly trying to make sure the kids at the park are safe and makes a point to ask afterward. It's a little terrifying to imagine this person just got into a kid's park, claiming he was going to kill a bunch of people in the park. Given that all those people are kids or young adults, you have to wonder what was going through his head. What triggered this?